Hello everybody, this episode is about startups. Paytm, PhonePe, BharatPe, Uber, Ola, Rapido, Zomato, Swiggy, Big Basket, Myntra, Flipkart, Nykaa, all these guys are adding value to us. Well, it is questionable how much value they are adding, but they are delivering on the promise and they are delivering on what they are committing to. And these startups are fundamentally changing the way we live our lives. And these startups are not a new phenomenon by any means. They are existent 10 years back, 20 years back, and even 30 years back. Just look at this fantastic ad from Naukri.
Sir, report 1. Report 2. But sir...
Shut up!
Sir, hotel reservation desk on line 2.
Yes, I would like to book a table for 2.
Sure, sir.
Poolside.
Your name, sir?
Hari Sadhu.
What, sir?
Hari Sadhu.
Sir, may I? Yes, write down Hari Sadhu. H for Hitler, A for arrogant, R for rascal, I for idiot. That's right.
Now, Naukri was promising from 1997 itself that, hey, if you have problems with your boss, we'll help you find a new job. I don't know right now who is going and talking to their boss this way, but if you have a problem, you can always go search for a new job on Naukri. And they are also promising to the employers that, hey, you can find new guys if you want. Now, this kind of value proposition has been changing the way we organize and way we conduct in our lives. In this episode, we are not going to talk about the good apples in the startup ecosystem. Well, in 1990s, there were only a few startups, but now the scene has exploded. And in this video, we are going to talk about the bad apples in the current ecosystem. To start about, let's look at what happened to Go Mechanic a few weeks back.
Automobile after-sales service startup Go Mechanic is in the crosshairs after co-founder Amit Bhasin in a LinkedIn post admitted to errors in financial reporting. Such grave errors that it has led to a lot of their funding being withdrawn and they've had to sack 70% of their workforce.
Now, the level of the financial irregularities and the way it has come out is unprecedented. This is basically Go Mechanic's CEO coming out with a statement on LinkedIn, a public platform, by himself. You can see that it does a lot of harm for his own reputation, but still he did come up with these things. So to understand why he has engineered growth, we need to first go back and understand what are startups, who are behind these startups' growths, and what are the objectives of these guys. Well, startups are pretty straightforward. They are all about helping customers and making money in the process. This is the same as any traditional business that you and I see on a daily basis on the roads. Nothing different. However, startups have two additional promises. Number one, they promise faster growth, and number two, they also promise more growth in absolute terms. And more often than not, to get to this absolute growth and faster growth, they need some additional money. And this additional money is provided by a third-party player called as investor. If you take $1 million right up front from an investor, this is what happens.
I'm just going to make up a number, $1 million. Then you go to your first board meeting. How fast are you growing? How many of you have had these discussions? How fast are you growing? Okay, grow faster. How many of you have had that discussion? Grow faster. Okay, most of you that raised your hand. Well, it would probably shock you to know that almost 40 cents of every venture dollar right now goes right back into the hands of Google, Facebook, and Amazon.
Now, Chamath is an ace investor. He invested in companies like Yammer, Slack, and a few other great companies. And what is Chamath saying here? More often than not, when you take $1 million, this is basically pumped into Amazon, Facebook, Google as advertisements, and that is nothing but superficial growth. Are you improving your product market fit? Not necessarily. Then what happens subsequently? Once you burn all your $1 million in a startup, then the investor like Chamath will come back and say, hey, why don't we raise more money? He will bring on more of his friends and he'll say, hey, this company is doing great. They spent $1 million and they're also growing, so why don't you invest? And the second set of friends will bring on more friends. And so your earlier first round of $1 million will then become Series A, then Series B, then Series C. That's how money is bought into the firm, not necessarily the customer value proposition is increasing. And that is the problem with Go Mechanic too. It is not just that they are raising money, but they are not necessarily improving the customer value proposition. Their reviews are absolutely bad. Well, on their website, the reviews are good, but if you go to Quora or if you go to any other platform, the reviews are bad. And fundamentally, these guys, the investors, are some of the most intelligent people. Then why are they doing this? Because you need to understand how they are getting the money. First, the $1 million that Chemath is investing right now, where is he getting that money from? He is getting that money from rich people, or he's getting from some other investors. Let's say Mukesh Ambani is giving that $1 million to Chemath and asking Chemath, hey Chemath, why don't you go ahead and invest in startups? You seem to be like a great guy and identifying this value. Now, after 1 year, Chemath will go back and say to Mukesh Ambani that, hey, Mukesh sir, I made a lot of money through my first investment. Then Mukesh Ambani will be happy and say, okay, take $1 more million or $500 million. Now, how is Chemath making money? Chemath will then say, hey, I'm managing $500 million of your money, so I'll take a 2% commission. So the more money that Chemath is managing, the more he has to show to Mukesh Ambani that, hey, I'm making money. It's all on paper. But Chemath will say, I'll take 2% of the entire commission. And that 2% is his fee. $500 million. What's 2%? $10 million is management fees for Chemath. That is how these guys are making money. And the more success he needs to show, he needs to pull up more friends and say that, hey, this is a great company. Let's mark it up. Mukesh Ambani is happy. Chemath is happy. But the founder is now working only towards the growth of the company, superficial growth of the company. They are not worried about customer problems anymore. By the way, this is not just happening in India. This is also happening around the world. Look at what happened to Theranos.
Elizabeth Holmes was sentenced today to 11 and a quarter years in prison. This is her punishment for 4 counts of criminal fraud. In January, a jury found her guilty of defrauding investors in Theranos, the blood testing startup that she ran.
They raised $1.1 billion and their CEO is now behind the bars. This also happened to a few other big companies. Now, this level of fraud is unprecedented. This is not just about raising money. This is also about actually cheating the investors. Are there laws where if you cheat the investors, would you go behind the bars? The laws are pretty clear in the US, but the laws are still not very well established in the Indian market. We need to see how that flows. Now, going forward, how and what can we do to resolve these situations? Number one, the set of these problems are arising because once Chemath puts in $1 million, then he will ask his friends. His friends are like, hey, this looks like a great company. We should immediately invest. There is a rush. There is a FOMO, fear of missing out. That, hey, if I don't invest now, I don't probably get that chance. I can't make that money. So in the rush and in that short-sightedness, they are not doing that due diligence. And that is the reason why these frauds have happened in 2021, 2022, when there was digitization boom and a lot of startups were making money. However, in the last 6 to 8 months, when not a lot of startups were able to raise money, this due diligence, these checks have increased. And that is the reason why companies like Go Mechanic have to come out and say what they are doing and how they are engineering growth just on books, but not in actual ways. This short-sightedness should stop. The investors should look for the long-term growth. Investors should prioritize profitability over growth, and subsequently they should do more due diligence. Well, a lot of startup founders, including me, we are very passionate about our ideas, but probably not a lot of us have an MBA degree or we do not know how to manage money. So probably taking a course over there would help. It is not just about an idea anymore. If you are taking millions of dollars from an investor, you need to have governance controls set up. So it is about long-term outlook from the investors and also ensuring and also prioritizing governance controls from the entrepreneurs themselves. Potentially, if these things happen, we will see less of Go Mechanics and we'll see the brighter side of the picture with full HD view. Thank you guys. Hope this helps and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.